Hey guys, it's Tony Robbins. I'm here in British Columbia, Canada, up in Whistler, and I'm here with my platinum partners. And so I want to thank you for coming back. I know we're supposed to be on at 4 o'clock, but I had the unique privilege of having my dear friend and one of the great leaders of the world, our 42nd president, President Clinton, Bill Clinton, come, and so it went a bit long. So thank you for joining us again. I wanted to join you today just for a quick announcement and provide something for you for free that I think you'll find valuable. We've been here this week. The focus of this week, I do it once a year, is to take my highest level clients and investors and show them where the world is today and where it's going financially, but also to make a difference financially. You have to understand where we're going emotionally and psychologically and what's happening in the world globally. So we've been here for 5 days and nights. I've brought in 5 self-made billionaires, everybody from Ray Dalio, who, if you're familiar with the financial world or if you read Money Master the Game, he's the most successful hedge fund investor in the history of the world. Rich people give their money to a hedge fund often, and a big one might be $15 billion, and Ray is, to give you an idea, $165 billion. He had a $5 billion net worth and $100 million to invest 10 years ago to even speak to him. We were fortunate enough to have him here for an hour and a half, which was really amazing to get a picture of where the world's going. We also had, to give you an idea, Rick Sofer here, who is the chairman of Edmund D. Rothschild, which is the investment division for the Rothschild family, one of the richest and most powerful families in the history of the world, giving us answers about where's the world, where is it going, and where to invest, where are the opportunities, where's the downside. Mark Faber, who did the gloom, boom, and doom report that you're probably familiar with. Barry Silbert, one of the first billionaire investors in Bitcoin, to talk about it. Peter Diamandis, who's, most of you know from the X Prize, talking to us about stem cells and nanotech and human longevity, and of course the president. So I tell you all that because my obsession is always looking for answers to increase the quality of people's lives, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And you may be familiar with me writing the book Money Master the Game, became the #1 bestseller, primarily because I interviewed 50 of the most genius people in the world financially, the Ray Dalios of the world, the Carl Icahns, the Warren Buffetts, and got them to share what do you need to do today to really be able to succeed. And I wrote the book, #1 bestseller. I was really thrilled with it, and I hate writing books. I mean, I always tell people I like writing books about as much as I do pulling out my eyelashes. It's just not my favorite thing to sit still. But the reason I'm reaching out to you is because I've written a new book. It comes out in 7 days. It's called UNSHAKEABLE, if you haven't heard about it already. And it's really kind of a financial, if you would, freedom playbook. And I wrote it because I wanted to write a small book instead of my 760-page monster that people could read in the weekend. But I also see so much fear out there right now. This week we saw so much fear in people, and I wanted to create the antidote to it. It's like, the metaphor of, you're walking along late at night and you see a snake and you run the other direction and you come the next morning in the daylight and you see it wasn't a snake, it was a rope. Once you know it's a rope, there's no more fear, there's no more snakes. So I really wrote this book to show people what they could do to protect themselves for what's going to come. We all know a crash is coming. We don't need to be dramatic about it. This is about to be the 8th year of this bull market. It's the 2nd largest bull market in history. So what does that mean? It means everybody's waiting to see, when's this thing going to drop? What's going to happen? And while you're waiting, you're missing out on opportunity. Since the election, there's been a 14% growth in the market that people on the sidelines are wondering what to do. And so for people who are sophisticated investors or unsophisticated investors, whether it be somebody who was like a baby boomer who never got started and thinks it's too late, or whether it's maybe an extra generation person that's in that midlife area, or whether it's a millennial who just got out of college and they have all this debt and they're saying, I don't know what to do. I wanted to write a playbook to show you how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And of course, I'm donating 100% of the profits, every penny of it, so that we feed more people for Feeding America. I was fed when I was 11, and I've been giving back ever since, feeding families. And 2 years ago, I decided to feed 50 million people, which became 100 million, and now I've fed 200 million people through my partnership in Feeding America. And if you decide to get this book, 100% of the money goes to feed people. Each book will feed 50 families, or 50 individuals, I should say. And we live in a country where 47 million people go to sleep at night knowing where they're going to have a meal. 17 million are children. We're the richest country in the world. So if you'd like to transform yourself, I hope you'll pick up the book and know that you're going to be transforming and helping people that other people have forgotten about. But the reason I've announced the book's coming on the 28th on my birthday, but I really want to announce to you that I've also wanted to create some podcasts for you that would be free for you as well, because I find listening is a great reinforcement. I mean, reading, underlining, getting your plan together is so valuable. But I thought if I could do some interviews for you to simplify it as well and to reinforce it, you could do it what I call net time, no extra time, while you're driving in your car, while you're working out, while you're cleaning the house type of thing. So the announcement is, I hope you'll pick up the book. If you do, it'll change lives and your own, and I think you'll find it very inspiring and moving. If you're not sophisticated financially, it'll turn you from the chess piece to the chess player. It'll go from being one of the many people talking about it to somebody who's in the game of being able to win. And if you're sophisticated, you'll appreciate it, obviously, as well. But I really want to get you onto the podcast. So if you go to iTunes or to Stitcher, we have 3 brief episodes for you, and they're totally free. And go there, and hopefully it'll hook you and give you some real value to show you some of the ways that you can start to protect yourself from an industry that you and I both know is incredibly abusive. Most of the people in the industry are good people, but the industry is made up of corporations whose job it is to maximize profits for their shareholders. Their job is not to maximize your profits. That comes second or third. And so this book will show you how to protect yourself. 1% in fees more than you should be paying costs you 10 years of income in your retirement. And so if you're paying 2% more than you should, which most people are on their mutual funds, things of that nature, it's 20 years of income that you can get back with 2 quick decisions and actions, and they cost you nothing to be able to do. So really what I want to do is put you in a position where you're truly unshakable, where it doesn't mean you never have fear. It just means if fear shows up, you get rid of it right away. When the most fear is happening is when the greatest opportunity is. So this is not just to protect you for when the market crashes or real estate changes or anything of that nature, but also, because no one knows when that's going to happen, but to also make it so you can take advantage of it. Because things burn down faster than they grow. You can unfortunately burn down the World Trade Center, blow it up, in a very short period of time, and it might take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to rebuild something. So, but if you understand that, when things burn down, you have the best opportunity. The stock market and real estate and things of this nature is one of the only places, especially the stock market, where things go on sale and people get fearful. If I told you there were Ferraris on sale for 50% off and you were a total Ferrari nut, you'd be out of your mind. So I want you to know, obviously, there's going to be a correction. No one knows when it's going to come. 6 months, 12 months, 24, 36. Anybody who tells you they know doesn't know. The best in the world don't know. We're doing things we've never done before. We have negative interest rates. I'll tell you one of the things that pushed me over to write the book and do the podcast. I was interviewing here just a year ago, the Fed chair, Alan Greenspan, who basically was the head of the Fed for 19 years, the most powerful man in finance for 19 years under 4 presidents, including President Clinton. And I'd spent 3 hours with him digging into his psyche. He was almost 90 years old at that time. And then brought him on stage for 2 hours. And the last thing we did after we talked about all the things that are going on in the world that make people feel uncertain, and I wanted to give them certainty, I said, what would you do if you're made back of the Fed today? And I'll never forget, he paused, and he leaned into me and he said, resign, which didn't build much confidence. And then I interviewed Howard Marks, who, if you're not familiar with him, manages $100 billion for Oak Tree Capital. And this is a guy who in 2008 was spending $1 billion a week in the middle of the stock market crash, buying $1 billion more of stock each week because it was on sale. The same thing as Warren Buffett. They were both saying this is the greatest opportunity of your life, and now they're up 250% since that time. But he said to me just recently, he said, Tony, if you're not confused by what's going on, you don't know what's going on. So this book and our podcast is designed to just debunk all that, bring you to simple clarity, get you clear about what it is you want, what's preventing you from get there, put a plan in place, and implement it. And it's something that once you implement it, maybe you'll spend 2 or 3 hours, 2 or 3 times a year once you get it down, and you can read it in a weekend. So my outcome is really simple. I want to empower you. I'm not getting anything out of this economically. I want to help people that society has forgotten about. And if you don't even get the book, and if you don't feed the people, I still want you to have tools and resources. So minimum, go to iTunes or go to Stitcher, look up the 3 episodes on Unshakable, and help yourself to it. And I hope that I hope you'll be inspired, but more importantly, I hope you'll get yourself a really simple playbook or strategy so that in the years to come, when other people are freaking out uncertain, you're unshakable. Not because you're just optimistic, but because you have a plan, and you got a strategy, and you got a tool, and you know there's nothing to fear. That the snake is a snake because you don't have the knowledge, and once you have the knowledge, it's the rope. And that doesn't mean there won't be challenging times, but in the end, you and your family will have the freedom and the security, both financial and personal security, that you really, really deserve. So, and the last chapter of the book is really about the ultimate wealth, which is how do you be happy even when it doesn't go your way? And everybody's happy when things go the way they want to go, but how do you experience that level of joy and fulfillment every day? Because that's more important than money times 10. So anyway, those are my announcements. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, and hopefully, if you're interested, please pick up, Unshakable, get your financial playbook, understand how volatility is not something to be afraid of, but something can free you, and take this area of your life and just say, listen, I'm going to take a weekend or a few days, or a few hours a week for a little bit of time and really figure if I can master this area of my life at a whole nother level. So thanks for watching. I got to go back to the seminar. I appreciate you checking in with us. And leave me some comments about what's happening in your life financially. I'll check out Facebook today, and of course I'll be looking over at Instagram and Twitter as well. God bless. I'll see you soon, and go do something that's going to make you inspired and touch people that you love. See you soon. Live strong, live with passion.